Do you keep waiting for the perfect time to chase your dreams? This is the story of Ravi, a husband who waited too long. His dream was real, but his waiting became a curse for his family. In this story, you will learn English, improve your listening, and discover a powerful life lesson: why action today is more important than waiting for tomorrow. This story teaches us that waiting can destroy lives, but action, no matter how small, can create hope. Subscribe our channel for more motivational English stories, short moral tales, and English learning videos every week. Just wait, Mira. One day I'll start my big business. Then you'll see. We'll have everything we ever dreamed of. Ravi leaned back on the wooden cot, eyes glowing with ambition. His wife, Mira, stood in the dimly lit kitchen, stirring a thin pot of dal. She smiled faintly, though her heart was heavy. She had heard those words countless times before. One day. Their two children, Anaya and Kiran, sat cross-legged on the floor, eagerly waiting for dinner. Their clothes were faded, patched at the knees and elbows. The hunger in their eyes was sharper than the hunger in their stomachs. "Papa?" little Kiran asked softly. "When will that one day come? Will it be tomorrow?" Ravi chuckled, ruffling his son's hair. "Yes, beta. Tomorrow is always closer than yesterday." But tomorrow never came. Weeks became months. Ravi spent his days at the tea stall, talking about business plans with friends. He described shops he would open, customers he would attract, profits he would make. His words painted a world of abundance, but words did not buy food, and dreams did not fill stomachs. Mira quietly shouldered the burden. She stitched clothes for neighbors, washed dishes in wealthier homes, and even sold vegetables at the market. Many evenings when Ravi returned, she would hand him a few coins, pretending she had borrowed them from a relative. She did it to protect his pride, though each lie broke her inside. One day, Anaya came home from school with tears in her eyes. "What happened, Anaya?" Mira asked, alarmed. "Ma, the teacher scolded me. She said if we don't pay the fees this month, I can't come to school anymore." Ravi overheard but looked away. He clenched his fists, muttering, "When my business starts, she will study in the best school." But Anaya's books were repossessed before that business ever began. As years rolled on, life grew harsher. The family's small savings disappeared. The children grew thinner, and Mira's face lost its glow. She carried on silently, never blaming Ravi, but her sacrifices left scars. One stormy evening, rain poured through the leaking roof. Ravi returned, drenched but empty-handed. The children huddled together, hungry, shivering. Mira stood at the corner, holding a small box wrapped in cloth. "What's that?" Ravi asked. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Inside lay her last piece of jewelry, a gold bangle given by her mother on her wedding day. "Ravi," she whispered, eyes welling up, "I kept this hidden for years, but I can't bear to see the children starve tonight. I'll pawn it tomorrow for food." Ravi froze. The bangle shimmered in the dim light, but it felt heavier than iron. His chest tightened as if 1,000 stones pressed on it. He saw in her eyes not anger, not blame, but a tired surrender. That night, Ravi could not sleep. He stared at the cracked ceiling, hearing the rain drip into the bucket, and for the first time in years, he admitted the truth. His dream had become a curse. The next morning, Ravi woke before sunrise. Instead of heading to the tea stall, he walked to the local workshop where laborers loaded sacks of grain onto trucks. "Are you here to talk again?" the foreman mocked. "We don't need dreamers here, we need workers." Ravi swallowed his pride. "Give me work. Any work. Please." By afternoon, his palms were blistered, his back ached, and sweat drenched his shirt. But when he returned home with 50 rupees in his pocket and a small packet of flour in his hand, Mira looked at him as though he had brought the stars. For the first time in years, the children ate a full meal. Ravi watched them, his heart burning with guilt and relief. From that day, he worked tirelessly, hauling, sweeping, carrying loads. His body broke, but his spirit rebuilt. Slowly, coins turned into notes, hunger turned into meals, and despair turned into fragile hope. Years passed. Ravi never forgot his dream, but he stopped waiting for the perfect opportunity. Instead, he saved every rupee. On weekends, he sold vegetables with Mira, this time not out of shame, but as a team. One day, he approached Mira with excitement in his eyes. "Mira," he said, handing her a small slip of paper. "I rented a tiny shop near the market. We'll start with grains and pulses. It's small, but it's ours." Mira's eyes filled with tears, not of sorrow this time, but of relief. "Ravi, this is the dream I was waiting for. Not the big shop, not the riches, but the day you decided to act." Together, they painted the shop's signboard with their own hands. Ravi Mira General Store. It wasn't grand, but it was honest, and it grew steadily. Customers came, not for luxury, but for the sincerity they saw in the couple. One evening, years later, Ravi stood at the counter, his children by his side. Now grown, educated, and smiling. The store was modest, but it buzzed with life. "Papa," Anaya said, "today I got selected for college. I'll be the first in our family to go." Ravi's eyes brimmed with tears. He looked at his daughter, then at his wife, and finally at the ceiling, whispering, "Thank you, God, for giving me a second chance." That night, he told his children, "I spent half my life waiting, thinking success would come to me. But waiting is the cruelest thief. It steals time, family, and dignity. Action, even the smallest, is what gives life meaning. Never wait for the perfect moment. Start where you are, with what you have. That is the true way to live your dreams." His family listened in silence, their hearts full. For though his dream had once been a curse, his redemption had turned it into a life lesson they would never forget. Dreams are not wrong. Hope is not foolish. But waiting without action is poison. A husband's responsibility is not only to dream big, but to stand tall for his family today. The perfect time will never arrive, but your family's needs cannot wait. Life's art is painted with brush strokes of action, not the invisible ink of excuses. Ravi learned this through tragedy, but his redemption was proof. It is never too late to act, but it is always too dangerous to wait. And now, tell us in the comments, what is one dream you have been waiting too long to start? And how will you take action today? We'd love to read your thoughts. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, Share and subscribe to our channel for more motivational English stories. Press the bell icon so you never miss a new lesson.